Well, welcome, welcome. I think I should turn some light on. How about that? Put some light on the subject. So let me do that. I don't know if that makes it any better, but anyway. Good morning. Great rising. I am Shifa, doing business as Robin Whitehurst or RJ Whitehurst, and I'm here this morning and so excited to talk to you about wealth made easy. So, who thinks wealth can be made easy? Well, I want to welcome you all because we're going to start talking about that. We're going to talk about how it's holistic fun and that there are wealth building secrets of the old money. You heard people talk about folks got old money. You go through certain neighborhoods in your town and you know that's where all the old money is. And then there are other neighborhoods where say, oh, that's the new money. Okay, that's the new money. So how is it that we get to be the ones with the new money and create an destiny for our family where our family becomes the old money? Well, there are some things that that people did, the wealthy and the high net worth individuals know apply to their financial mindset, okay, and in their activities, how they handle their money, the things that they do, that we're going to get into today. So a little bit about myself. I am, welcome, Dwayne. I see Power of Oneness, Muhammad, and Janaea. Chow, Van. Is that who I see? Okay, wonderful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, I'm Shifa, doing business as RJ Whitehurst, and I'll talk a little bit about why it sounds like that. But a little bit about my background is I am a natural healer, 44 years. I've been helping people get to where they say they want to be with their body and their mind, their family, finances, the community, the environment. And we do this with my partner, Felicia Muhammad, by helping families understand that there are 5 domains in a container that we call the Oneness Wellness Foundation, the Oneness Wellness Foundation. And for me, having been a healer, helping people with their nutrition, and realize that when I say I've been doing this for 44 years, this was way before Whole Foods and this whole wellness revolution, right? So since that's really my come from, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I think of myself as an entrepreneur. My life and my business and my spirituality are not separate. They're one. Okay. They're one. So when I begin to recognize that as I'm helping families, it becomes an issue of people getting laid off, not being able to pay for their services. And I like to outsource the massage therapy and whatever of the other therapies that or modalities in healing that people need. But this money thing kept looming large. It kept getting bigger and bigger. And I am a believer that the times dictate the agenda. I could go along with my own plan in the world and do what I think I want to do, but the times dictate the agenda. And as such, I realized that we needed to have a conversation in the 4th domain of the Oneness Wellness lifestyle, and that domain is healthy finances. Healthy finances. So how is it that I get to talk about finances? Well, I have created $1 million businesses, and I have run businesses. I have also had the good fortune of being a consultant, going in and helping people with their issues and being able to provide a value service that people thought was worth the amounts of money that they pay me, to the tune of sometimes $50,000 to $80,000 in a weekend. So the other part of how it is that I get to bring this, I have part of my calling, because as a I want you to realize for me, and I'm just telling you a little bit about my story, as a calling for me, I answer when I understand what the dictate is, what the agenda needs to be. I hear it intuitively from the heart space, from the spirit, because oneness is a concept of being one with the creator, one, or whatever you call that, one with my mighty I am presence in the vertical relationship, always, right? Always. And then we have this horizontal relationship here on the physical plane, where when that 90-degree sacred geometry is correct, then you know what to do. So I have to address it. Okay, I have to. Part of my purpose, part of my soul's purpose. The other thing that makes me able to talk about this, because I've also been homeless, living in Prospect Park in Brooklyn, right? For 9 months, I was outside. And I just give thanks that it happened between April and September. So I got all the good weather months, right? To be outside and live on the planet. No bills, no financial responsibility. And the joy of, I said joy, the joy of realizing that I can live on the planet. And it gave me a whole different perspective of how I deal with the money, the finance thing. So being able to put all that together, in addition to having grown up with entrepreneurial parents, and having everything that I wanted, needed, asked for as the oldest girl in the family. And so of course I'm daddy's baby girl, and just being given everything and living kind of like with the silver spoon. And then my father was shot when I was 17. He didn't die, but he was shot in the head, and he was incapacitated for over 18 months. And it devastated our family, not only financially, but of course, emotionally, and everything just fell apart. Everything, my whole life, the trajectory of my whole life shifted. So I'm already a healer at 14, because I've been doing this for 44 years. I had to tell you where the start line is. So add to that, helping my father to recover and all of that, I left and moved to New York City. And I lived in the ghetto for the first time in my life, where we went to a person's house one time, and they actually had a hole around the toilet in the bathroom, and rats were coming up from into the house from under the toilet. And it was the experience of that time. And I lived in New York for 12 years, and it wasn't all in poverty, believe me, because manifesting, the art of manifesting, the ability to manifest, I changed my situation. But I know that was something that I needed to experience to be able to be here with you today, to talk about Wealth Made Easy, holistic fun, wealth building secrets of the old money. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. And I just want to say another reason why I'm able to talk to you about it is because I'm a licensed financial professional now. So not only do I have a healing background in working with people holistically and understanding the concepts of bringing it all together, I'm also licensed in as a licensed professional. So I help people, I help families rise. The program is No Family Left Behind. We help families rise. And our hashtag is Healthy Finances, hashtag Healthy Finances. So I have Felicia calling in, and hold on one moment. Hi.
Look in the camera.
Look in the camera, she said. Hi. Okay. I'm looking at the camera. I'm getting some coaching. All right. Thank you. And I have my phone right here, and she texted me a few times. So thank you. This is community. And that's what I like to want you to know. So we can have a conversation here. And my job today is to offer you education and understanding. And I'm going to share with you some financial concepts that people may not be aware of. And I'm also going to offer you a mini course that is free. All you have to do is I'll put a link in. So I got to go grab it, but I'll put a link in so that you can have that and participate with me in our mini course and fill out the survey, and I'll be able to address your concerns as well. So with all that said, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. I will look in the camera. I will check the chat. I'm going to give you the love. So, no family left behind, we rise. So the first concept I want to share with you is really in the form of a question, Would you rather be taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never? Would you rather be taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never? And why do I start with that question? Because most people think there are two things that are inevitable in life: death and taxes. So let's start right there with the taxes as we talk about how you build wealth and how easy it really is. So if you have a pad and paper, you may want to write this down. There are 3 levels, and most people are going to say tax never. So as we talk about being taxed never, how does that happen? So if you have a checking account, a savings account, a mutual fund, all of those things, the stock market, when you grow money, we're talking about money now. When you grow money in those containers, in those vessels, in those strategies, okay? If you grow money in those strategies, you will incur capital gains. You're going to pay taxes on everything that you accumulate in those vessels. So I know I should be looking at the camera, but I'm looking for something I'm going to share with you. Okay. So with having to pay capital gains tax, you're not really realizing the full benefit of why you put the funds in those accounts in the first place, right? You want to earn money. Now realize that there's a link that you can go to. It's called bankrate.com, and it'll tell you the rates that the banks are giving in your particular zip code area. All right. So we checked here, and the Bank of America is paying 1.5 on a 5-year CD. Okay. Well, the inflation rate is about 3%. So you're a 1.5 under the bus already if that's what you've chosen. So this conversation is about talking to you to broaden your mind, right? To create a different kind of mindset so that you're not lured in when the bank says, oh, come in, we're going to give you this. But you start to ask different kinds of financial questions. All right. Now, the tax later, let's talk about this one. The 401ks, the 403bs, right? Your annuities, the pension plan, even the real estate investment. These are tax deferred, right? So if I ask you, do you think that taxes are going to go up in the future, or are they going to go down? Are they going to go up, or are they going to go down? So we would say that taxes are going to go up. And as a matter of fact, one of my mentors is a CPA, and she also is a professor at one of the universities here in the area. And she has shared with us, with our group, our financial tribe, that they're looking at moving taxes up to 62%. 62%. So if you're in a tax deferred program, it's like a setup, right? It's like you've been set up to put your money in and wait for the taxes to go up. You're gonna wait for say, come to this plan where you can wait for the taxes to go up when you get ready to take your money. Well, if they sold it to you, if they tried to sell it to you like that, you would never have joined that. Not in a million years, not in your right mind would you ever have taken a deal like that. So that's not a strategy that works. So they're going to set you up to get the taxes later. All right. Now, the other thing about your 401, your 401ks, your 401ks, your 403s. Those are tax codes, right? So I just want to put a pin right there. I want you to remember that those are tax codes that have only been around for 30 years. And I'm going to share with you something in just a moment that has been around for 100 years, because we got to get to that old money, right? So I'm going to share with you something that's been around for 100 years that you probably, most likely, have never, ever heard of. Nobody's trying to sell it to you, right? They're not offering to you on your job. So your 401, your 403, your annuities, your pension, and even that real estate investment, that's all tax deferred. So I call that the deferment trap, the deferment trap. So let me just dive a little deeper into this deferment trap section of the tax later part, of the tax later part. So if you are wanting to save for your retirement, children's education, vacation fund, do some things later in life, and you're putting money in this, now you realize that you're going to be taxed later on at a higher percentage rate. Another consideration is that life happens. Life happens. 85% of people who have a 401k tap that 401k before the 59 and a half age limit where you can actually get your disbursement. Okay. You can't take distribution without penalty until you're 59 and a half, right? So with that being said, if 85% of people are tapping that money before their age of distribution, then that means that not only are they experiencing a 10% penalty, but they are also, welcome Kimberly, not only are they experiencing a 10% penalty, they're also getting taxed. Right. So when you take the money out of your 401k when you need it, because some people use that like emergency fund, and because you need to have an emergency fund. However, you're going to get taxed and you're going to pay the penalty. You're going to pay the penalty. So, who wants to do that? Nobody, but that's what happens. So, and it's generally about 30%. If you try to take $1,000 out, you're going to end up with about 700. Now, there's another part of this distribution with your 401k and your 403 is that if you don't take distribution by the time you're 70 and a half, they penalize you 50%. That's right. I said 50, 50. Or should I do it like this, right? They're going to penalize you 50%. They're going to take half your value. Did you know that? They will take half your value and tax you on money that you saved your whole life if you don't take it by the time you're 59, by the time you're 70 and a half. So it's also, there's more. It's also tied to the stock market. And any of you who've been paying attention to the stock market, first of all, about a month and a half ago, they actually closed the banks in Greece. I don't know if you're aware of that, and the Dow was down 350 points, and the S&P was down minus. Let me say that again: the Dow was down minus 350 points, and that's where your 401k and your 403b and your mutual funds and all that's tied to that. And the S&P 500 was down minus 43%. Wiped people out in about a 6-day period of time. Crazy. And then most recently, at the opening bell, the market was down 1,000 points. Wiped people out. And if you're not paying attention to what's going on with your 401, you don't even realize that it's happened to you. You're just living life. We're just doing what we do. And we're not really paying attention to it because we don't have the mindset that we're actually building wealth and growing, right? Growing a legacy, a dynasty. We don't have the kind of mindset that we want, that the reason that we're putting this money away is not just for our retirement, but it's to create a legacy. So part of the secrets of building wealth is that you, of course, like everything, it starts right here, and these 4 inches right here, right between your ears. You have to have the mindset of being a wealth builder, not just making money, not just on your grind every day. That's a part of it. But you got to have a wealth builder's mentality. And when we talk about wealth, we're talking about legacy, generational wealth. Well, the definition of wealth, as one of my mentors has shared it with me, is that wealth is 7 generations deep. It's what you have now that gives you the comfortable living and lifestyle and allows you to do the things that you want to do. But wealth is 7 generations deep for your children's children's grandchildren, children. Okay. So that's what we're really talking about here. And when you have strategies that are of a poverty, scarcity, or multimedia driven financial strategies, you're trying to follow CNN and you're trying to follow the stock market and all those kinds of things, you will run into a situation where you have these 401ks and you have these things that's only been around for 30 years. And that's not where the wealthy people, that's not how they're growing money. That's not how they're doing it. That's how employees grow money. Okay. So we want to get out of the employee mindset. And as more and more of us become entrepreneurs, we want to be able to not only transition from the employee to the entrepreneurial mindset in terms of how we do business, how we handle ourselves during the day with clients and prospects and all of those things. But as it relates to the money, right? As it relates to the scratch, we used to call it when I was coming, the cheese, when I was coming up. As it relates to the money, we need a wealth builder's mindset. And that has to do with strategies, because you can go out here and make $1 million or you can grow $1 million. So which would you rather do? Would you rather grow $1 million or would you rather have to hustle and make $1 million? Now you can do both. I'm not saying that making it is a bad thing. You want the 6 and 7 figure incomes, right? Because you can just do it faster. But on modest amounts of money, you'd be surprised. On modest amounts of money, that's how people are able to come up from seeming having nothing to being millionaires and building that legacy wealth that I'm talking about. So it's easy. And then once you get the mindset and you realize that there are tools, there's money tools available for you as an insider, as a licensed professional, financial professional, I'm here to share with you that insider knowledge. That's why I'm offering a mini course. That's why I'm asking for this, putting a survey out there to really be I can't call it a memory jogger because you may not have known about it before, but to introduce you to these types of concepts. So we're talking about, would you rather be taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never? And right now we're still talking about the tax deferred trap. We talked about the tax now, the capital gains. And now we're talking about how most people with the 401ks and the 403bs, the pension plans, the annuities, they're in the deferment trap. Taxes are going up. You got your money in a vehicle that you're going to have to pay taxes when you take it out in the future. So you're going to be paying higher tax rate. And it's something you would have never bought in the first place. So as a result of you having this money here and it's in the market, your money is going down. You're losing money. So who knows what Warren Buffett's rule to wealth is? What's his number one rule, right? It's his number 1 and 2 rule for growing money. So, and I think everybody knows who Warren Buffett is, right? He's like the billionaire, and it seems to grow into more billions every day. The man understands how to do it. So Warren Buffett says that the first rule of growing money is never lose money. Never lose money. So if your money is in any of those vehicles that I've already talked about, we've already violated rule 1 of wealth building. Never lose money. Rule 2 of wealth building, according to Warren Buffett, is see rule number 1. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to share with you is how to never lose money, because you say, well, what are you talking about? How do you invest and never lose money? How do I get a rate of return and never lose money? How is that possible? I'm getting ready to tell you. So those are the hazards of this whole tax later trap conversation. All right. Now, let's talk about tax-free. What is tax-free? How is it going? How do you get into a tax-free mindset? How do you get in? Because that's where you got to get first. As a healer, I recognize that it's the visualization and the work that we do on the inside that attracts to us, that brings to us the things that we need in the physical, right? Because we're creating every day. Our whole life is based on what we've created. So we already know how to manifest. Now it's getting a handle on that. And it starts with knowing better so you can do better. So you can't bring something into your visualization field that you have no knowledge of. You can ask for the knowledge to be revealed to you, and then the knowledge will appear. Okay. So for those of us who are on this blab today, this knowledge is appearing. And I would encourage you to tell a little bird, tweet it out, let people know that this knowledge is now available. How many people do you know who have a 401k and they never even thought of it as a tax deferment trap? They never thought about that. They never paid attention to that. So let people know that this information is available, because if you look around, you're not going to find too many financial professionals that's willing to bring you this inside information. Okay. So let's talk about the tax never. So on one side of that, there is something that you have heard about in this category, and that's a Roth IRA. That's a Roth IRA. Now, your Roth IRA, unlike your regular traditional IRA, which is in your tax deferred trap strategy, okay, your Roth IRA is tax-free. You can accumulate money tax-free, and so it means you can grow it without capital gains. You can take the distribution. It still has the penalty, and you can only grow it to $5,500 a year. That's your maximum contribution to your Roth in a period of 1 year. So you're not going to build a whole lot with just $5,500 in that account in the year. And it's also it is trading, right? It's trading, so it's volatile like the market. The second strategy in the tax-free column is a 529. Now, how many of you have heard of a 529? Welcome, Sa. How many of you have heard of a 529? Now, that's also a tax code. Remember, I shared with you that the 401, the 403, those are IRS tax codes. The 529 is an IRS tax code as well, and it is a education fund. Now, this is tax-free. You can grow the money tax-free, and when you take distribution, you can take it tax-free as long, get this now, as long as you stroke the check to an educational institution. That's the only way you can get access to that money once you save it. So if you save $60,000 in a 529 and it's for your child's education, and then your child decides they don't want to go to college, all right, there's nothing else you can do with that money. So you don't have authority or control over 529. And that's not the way that you build wealth. The only other thing you can do with a 529 is gift it to a niece or a nephew for their college education. So I don't like not having authority and control over the money I work for. So if you feel the same way, that's not the strategy that you want to have in place for yourself. So right now I'm getting ready to tell you. I want you to know, because I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down and do your own due diligence, because this may be the first time that you ever hear about that, you've heard about it, and I want you to know about it. All right. So the next strategy is called a private placement, and the number is called a 7702. The tax code is a 7702. Okay. So where's my mouse? There we go. So Sa is calling in, and I want to open the seat. There we go.
Oh,
Hey Sa, how are you?
good.
Welcome.
Welcome, Egypt.
Welcome. So you want to join the conversation with us, huh?
Yes,
So we're talking about, yes.
I am from Egypt.
Okay, welcome from Egypt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep rolling along. You going to listen in? You speak English? A little bit? Okay, little bit. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kim, welcome. So Kimberly has a question. Said, what if your gains are higher than $5,500 annually? In an IRA, that's the maximum contribution you can make. So it can't be higher, Kimberly. And that's what I'm saying. When you're saving, when you're looking at strategies to build wealth, you want to be able to have higher levels of contribution. And you have to look at in terms of capital gains. That's all you're gonna. The 55 is all you're gonna realize. And depending on where you have that money is going to determine whether it's taxable. So Roth IRAs are non-taxable. So you wouldn't have to pay the gains. All right. So, and you cannot go higher than that in a Roth IRA. So I asked you to write down the 7702. So your 7702 has been around for 100 years. It falls in the category of private placement. And just to give you a little bit of a background of what private placement is, if you've never heard of that before, is where you have the ability, if you are a high net worth individual, meaning you already are earning $250,000 or more. Okay, that's the low end, that's the minimum. Then some private placement programs are available to you. And generally, the minimum deposit in a private placement program is right about $250,000 just to get in, just to play the game, just to get in. All right. So that's been going on for a long time with the private placement. Now we have a private placement program that has an insurance wrapper. They created it in 2005. It's created in 2005. So what's the difference now? You have a private placement program or strategy that's now available to everyone. And so the reason you haven't heard of the 7702 private placement strategies and programs is because for most people, right, the majority of people, the 95% of people are not making $250,000 a year. All right. So that's not a conversation that you would have at dinner. It's not a conversation that in your circle of friends, that's not going to come up in conversation, right? Another reason why it's not going to come up in conversation is that I found out when I became licensed as a financial advisor is that there are, by SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, has laws that prohibit advisors from sharing information with people that are not high net worth individuals. So there's information that's available that by law can't even tell you. Can't even tell you. Okay. Now you tell me if this is the land of liberty and you're supposed to be able to pursue happiness, right? The pursuit of happiness, and there's ways to build wealth that you don't even know about, how are you going to get that done? How are you going to get that done? I'm here to help, to offer, and to educate you. So there are things that I'm not going to say on the blab, but in a private conversation, we can absolutely do that. And I have a mini course coming up, and that's posted on my my website. I'm SheFab1 on WordPress. Okay, so you could take a look there, but I will post. I don't want to go away from the conversation. Hi, Eric and Latanya. Welcome. Thank you, Felicia, for handling the chat. I appreciate it, because I just get so much into the conversation here. So the 7702, right? We couldn't tell you before, but when they recreated it, when the IRS recreated it and put an insurance wrapper around it, now it's available to everybody, and it's not considered an asset. So why is it tax free? Because it's not considered an asset. All right. So how does it work? That becomes the next question, right? Well, a 7702 has a lot of wonderful benefits. I'm going to slow down and really kind of go through this with you. And I'll take, I have my phone right here, Felicia. I can see it. Okay. Whether I look at it or not is another question. But I want to walk you through this 7702 and how it operates. So let's talk about how it grows, first of all, because we talk about building wealth, and then I'll talk about how it functions. So let's talk about how it grows. So let's take that same $5,500, that same $5,500 that you have inside of your 7702. The way that it grows and some of the way that it operates is that, and my hands are like this for a reason, that it mirrors the S&P 500. So if you're familiar with the S&P 500, it's the top 500 companies in the country, okay, trading. And the Dow is the top 100. So the S&P is the top 500, and the Russell is the top 2,000. So I just want to give you that, all right? So we know that the S&P 500 goes up and down, and it also can dip way under, right? It can dip way under, like minus 43, like it was a few weeks ago. Now, your private placement is over here. It mirrors the S&P 500, but within a growth corridor that gives you a guarantee that you cannot lose money. There's a guarantee floor. So it has a guarantee floor of 0.75. So if the market goes under 1%, you're still earning 0.75. You're still earning. So you will never, ever, by guarantee, lose money in a 7702. So what's Warren Buffett's rule number one about growing wealth? Never lose money. So we've got a strategy here, right, where we can never lose money. And I said it grows in a corridor. So the S&P can go way up. So it can go way up, and it can also crash. It can go way under. Your 7702 has a cap of 15%. So it has a cap of 15%. So between 0.75 and 15%, we call that a growth corridor. A growth corridor. So this is wealth made easy, guys. This is wealth made easy. Just take all the risk away. You don't have to worry about what the market is doing. You don't have to be concerned about whether you're going to lose any money. So you're going to get at all of this between the 0.75 and the 15%. Now, that's called, and your money is not in the market. Let me be real clear about that. Your money is not in the market. The market's over here. Hi, this is the market over here. I guess it's not a smiley face, right? It's hi, this is the market over here. This is the market. And this is your essence. This is your 7702. Hi, I can't lose any money. I'm only going to grow for you. And it's going to be there. Okay, so that means it's going to be there for your retirement, for your child's education, for your vacation fund, for whatever it is that you're growing money for. Okay, this is your long-term investment, and that's what a 401k and a 403b and your pension plans, that's what all of those things are for. So your 7702, that's just one benefit. That's just one benefit. All right. The other, I said that this money over here is not considered an asset. Why is that? Because they wrapped it in an insurance policy. So you're getting a rate of return that's growing with the market, but not in the market, right? So it's kind of like of the world, but not in it. So you're getting this rate of return, and it's not considered an asset. So there's no capital gains. No capital gains. So say, well, what's the likelihood that I'm going to get 15%? Well, I'll share with you that over the last 25 years, the average rate of return over here in your private placement 7702 has been 10 to 12%. Now you tell me where you can go in the bank, right, which is the middleman. That's just the commercial face of money. That's not who really controlling the money. That's just how they deal with the public in the bank. They're the middleman. The people who are really controlling the funds are, of course, everybody knows it's the people who deal with the market. But one of the best kept secrets is that the people who are really controlling the money are the insurance companies. Okay, so here you have an insurance company program that is mirroring the market, guaranteed that you cannot lose money. You can grow it up to 15%. So if the market does, when it goes to 15, and it does quite regularly, if you watch the financial, you're going to get that. Another benefit of it is that you can never lose your principal, right? Don't lose money. You can never lose your principal or your interest gain for that year. You cannot lose it because it has what they call an annual reset. So all of the gains, all of the return that you made for the year, doesn't come into play at the next year. So we call that point to point. So because it's not always from January to January. So if you came in your program in September, point to point would be September to September. Okay. So point to point, when next September rolls around, your interest is locked in, and it's not being, you can't lose it anyway, right? But it's not even in, all you can do is grow on top of that. So in your traditional programs, your money, all of your money is always at risk. When you have a mutual funds and all those things, your money is all of your money, your principal and your interest is always at risk. So in your 7702, once you earn it, you keep it. That's big. Once you earn it, you keep it. You cannot lose it. All right. So the question that says, what is growth corridor? Okay, so a growth corridor is where your funds are trading between. So I don't know how many of you heard of a hedge fund before, but it's a floor and a cap where money grows, right? So it can't grow any higher than this, and it can't fall down any lower than this, and everything in between is that growth corridor. And we always want to be on the green edge of growing in our whole life, in our personal development, in our spirituality, in working with our family, and growing in our career. We always want to be on the green edge of growing, right? And so why not in our financial strategy? And this is what I'm talking about, mindset. When we talk about growing wealth, and you can make it, I said in the title that it's fun, right? I said, this is going to be fun. If you know this, when you start growing money like this, right, do you think that could be fun? That you don't have to worry about whether or not your retirement is actually going to be there? Social Security Trust Fund is expected to be gone by 2030. Gone, right? So people are not even thinking about that as available anymore, right? So with that being the case, and then when you take from your 401, you're going to be taxed at a higher rate. Do you realize that the statistic is that 61% of Americans are more afraid of outliving their money than they are of dying? 61%. That's a big number. 61%. That's why when I said in the introduction that the times dictate the agenda, we have to have this conversation. And it's not fun. It doesn't feel sexy. And, even though making money, growing money is sexy, but it doesn't feel like that because you got to get some technical things. You got to change your mind about some things. You have to know something different. You've got to know something greater, and you have to apply that. So I'm here to help you learn. I'm here to teach and to share what it is that I have, what it is that my license avails, the insider information that my license allows me to give to you, right? Because I'm going to do it within the limits of the law, so I don't lose my license. So I'm going, but there's like the 7702 is available to everyone, but there's nobody on TV, with a there's nobody marketing it on TV. I'm just going to say it like that because I was going to go somewhere else. But there's nobody, with a sexy commercial trying to sell you a 7702. So come on in, Felicia. Hi. Hi. So nobody beating down your door saying, hey, here's a way where you can never lose money. Never lose money. So I'm here to help. I want to help. Okay. So let me talk some more about the 7702. So we already said it's not an asset. So it's not taxable, right? So this money is growing. So now I want to jump to another side because I said this is a growth model, and I'm deliberately not calling it an investment. Okay. I want you to hear that. I'm deliberately not calling it an investment, even though you can get up to 15% growth rate of return. All right. But I'm not calling it an investment. Why? Because it's not in the market. You're investing in yourself, but you're not investing in the market. And that's the traditional way that term investment is used. When you say it generally, people automatically think that you're talking about the market. So I'm not talking about the market. I'm talking about a private placement instrument. All right. So that's another word I want to put out there. This is an instrument, a strategy that you're using that is not an investment. So I said that your strategy is wrapped in an insurance wrapper. That's what it's called technically, an insurance wrapper. And that's what makes it available to everybody. Otherwise, it would still be a private placement that unless you were a high net worth individual, you wouldn't be able to have access to. All right. That's why that's important. How does it work? So let's talk about how it works. If you are familiar, and most people are, if you are familiar with term life, and I'm not trying to have a term life insurance conversation with you, okay? And if you're familiar with a whole life policy, and I'm not trying to have a whole life policy conversation with you, all right? I just want to talk about some mechanisms because that's a frame of reference. That's your frame of reference. So in a term policy, that means that the policy is temporary. You pay for it. You pay your premium every single month for 20 or 30 years, however long you sign the contract for. And when that 20 or 30 years is over, you have no money and you have no insurance. But you're older and you may have health concerns, and now you have to reinsure. So term goes away. It's temporary. It's temporary insurance. It has its place for some things. So like if a house, you have a mortgage for 30 years, you want to insure that house for 30 years, that mortgage insurance is a term policy. It's a 30-year policy, and then it stops, all right, or you renew. So we're having a conversation about a 7702 private placement strategy, all right? We're not having that term life insurance conversation. So I want to welcome the new blabbers that's coming on. And I just want to make sure we're clear about what we're really talking about here. Okay, so we understand that term is temporary. It's like throwing money out the window. All right. Whole life, you pay for your whole life. You pay every month for your whole life to have whatever the face value or the estate value is, right? For your whole life. Now, it also accumulates cash value. This is where the two parallel, because I said you can grow in the corridor from 0.75 to 15%, right? And can't lose it. Well, your whole life policy has cash accumulation, and you can use that as a savings plan, right? It's a living benefit. You can go in and out of it, and you're going to pay interest on it. Sometimes about anywhere from 4 to 8% if you borrow against it. But that money is there, but it's based on about a 4% growth rate or less, and it is at your disposal, right? When you have enough accumulation, it's at your disposal. But that money is also growing, but it's not growing anywhere near 15%, anywhere near 10%, 8%. Okay, so this is a parallel. So you have your cash accumulation. Now, with this cash accumulation, you also in a whole life, you're paying for it for your whole life, whatever that premium is, you have cash accumulation, and at your death, your family gets only the face value. They don't get your cash accumulation. The company keeps that. Even though that's your money, the company keeps that. Even though that's your money, the company keeps that. Your family doesn't get that, even though that's your money. Okay? With the 7702, it's kind of like a hybrid. So you can have a 7702 where you can have your contributions that you pay in monthly. Now, if you have a saving mindset, because I'm talking to wealth builders here, so I don't think I'm talking to people who don't understand that it's necessary to save. All right. So you're putting money away on a monthly basis. If you have insurance, you're paying it anyway. You're paying it anyway. If a 7702, you're putting your money into like a premium every month, and it's growing your cash value. And that's what's growing in that corridor, facing or mirroring the S&P 500. It's an index, so it doesn't crash. It has a 7.5 floor and a 15% cap. And I keep saying that because I want you to really understand that you cannot lose money, and the company guarantees that you're not going to lose any money. Okay. Now, excuse me, your 7702 is you pay in for 20 or 30 years, like you can choose your term, but you stop paying, but you have coverage for your whole life. Okay. So it's like a whole life that you don't have to pay for your whole life. It's growing cash accumulation where you cannot lose money, and you're building an estate, right? If we're talking about wealth building, we have to talk about building an estate. So you're building an estate, and that living benefit, you can use it when you have cash, when you have enough accumulated value. And when you pull it out as a loan, quote unquote, the interest rate is 1%, but you're gaining anywhere from 0.75 to 15%. So that's pretty much a wash, right? And where can you go get a loan for 1%? I just have to give a pregnant pause right there, because you're not going to find it. So your money now is in this wonderful container called a 7702, and your life is protected, and we call that income protection for your family. If you are the head of household, how much money you put in, what your contribution is, should be 10 times your annual income. Let me rephrase that. That's how much you want it to grow to. That's not how much you put in. You want to choose a plan that will leave an estate for your family that is at least the breadwinner is no longer in the family, is no longer with the family, they have at least 10 years of their salary still coming to them. And we have a way where we can put this on a distribution where it pays out X amount of dollars per month. So it's called income protection. This is how we protect families. So it sounds like, works like, looks like it's an insurance program. Well, it's a growth strategy wrapped in an insurance program that will guarantee that you cannot lose money. Your contribution, it depends on the plan that you choose. So it can be certainly more than $5,500 a year, and sometimes up to $40,000 and $50,000 more a year that you can contribute to it and make that money grow faster and increase your estate. The other part of it, if you remember when I talked to you about the whole life, how when your cash value accumulates and the insured passes away, the family only gets the face amount and the company keeps the cash value. With the 7702, the family gets the cash value and the face amount. So it increases your estate with everything that you've saved, not just what you bought, right? Because you bought the coverage. You bought the coverage. That's what the premium is doing. You pay $40 a month. You pay $120 a month, whatever your premium is, because you're buying $100,000 worth of protection or coverage for your family. It's like car insurance. We know how this works, right? You pay, you may never have an accident, but you're still paying for it. But we know inevitably, the way that the Creator designed our experience here is that we're going to leave here one day. And the wealth mindset says that since that's an inevitability, it's part of life, let me prepare for that. Let me plan for that. Let me take care of my family through that. Let me accumulate generational wealth so that my grandchildren's children's grandchildren are taken care of. All right. I have a friend that I work with, and he said to me the other night, when he comes back through reincarnation, he wants to come back as his own grandson because he already knows what he's got laid up for him. And he shared with me that his grandson, when he's born, will already have $8 million, an $8 million estate at birth. At birth. Okay. Who in your community is thinking like that? Who's thinking like that? Right? We have to begin to think like that, because when you take care of it 7 generations deep, you've definitely taken care of. Your life is made. You're good. You've got some things in place, right? But we want to grow it to that. That's why I say we want to be on the green edge of growing. So let me tell you one of the other secrets that and we're still on the 7702. There are many other, like 15 benefits I want to share with you. It's 10:44. We've already been on for an hour. So I just want to make sure, and if you have any questions, please feel free and go to my Twitter. And I'm not going to take the time now to find my link and put it all in there, but I will definitely share it with you. So if you share with me, if you follow me and you look at my Twitter, I will post that as soon as we get off the blab. But I want to share this with you as a strategy that the wealthy use. This is an old money secret. When a child is born in a wealthy family, okay, and I'm not saying all wealthy families doing this, I make a huge generalization, but those who understand how money works and how this particular strategy works with private placement, and as I said earlier, generally by law, you had to be a high net worth individual, $250,000 to $1 million or more to even know about this information. So when a child is born, they create one of these private placement accounts for the baby. At 15 days old, you can insure a child. Okay. At 15 days old, if your family had that net worth, you could wrap your baby in a 7702 or in a private placement program. Excuse me. And they would purchase it in a lump sum. They would get $1 million worth of coverage and pay the whole premium out. And when that child was 21 years old, they're already a multimillionaire already. So how many of you have heard of people, children who grow up wealthy? They live out of their trust fund for their whole life. They never had to work a day in their life, right? Unless they chose to. And many of them do. But think about that. Think about that. You start at the beginning with the end in mind, so that when that child is getting ready to go to private school, and when that child gets their first car, and when that child gets married, and when that child is all of the thing goes to college, right? I left that part out. When the child's getting ready to go to college and they want to go to these Ivy League schools and all of that, that stuff is already taken care of. And how does the family preserve and protect their wealth? By doing that, because all of the child's expenses is already taken care of. Talk about family planning, right? We're not talking about birth control pills and how you're going to not have babies. We're talking about family planning of how it is that when you do have children, you're not worried about how it is you're going to take, how the child is taken care of, because you already have them and they already have the trust fund. They can already live out of the trust fund. By the time this 15-day-old, by the time this 15-day-old is graduating from college, they're a multimillionaire. And so the way they protect and preserve their wealth is that they never have to touch the family wealth to take care of the children, because they grow the money while the child is growing. Oh, does that make sense? Oh my gosh. That's not rocket science. It's just a strategy. That's all it is. It's just a strategy. So thank you, Power Oneness. Thank you, Felicia, for posting the link for the mini course and the survey. It's just a strategy. But if you don't think like that, if you didn't know that that existed for you, if you were not aware in your circle of influence, nobody was influencing you to do that, then you, from the cradle to the grave, you go without knowing. So it can be, was that easy? So when I say wealth made easy, I'm not talking about how you got to get out there on the grind and get it done. I'm talking about how you can choose a strategy with what you have now and begin making that happen by building and preserving wealth with a wealth mindset, with a wealth builder mindset, with a legacy, generational wealth mindset, with a I'm going to take care of my family 7 generations deep mindset. All right. And then you start where you start wherever you are. And the beautiful thing about it is, since I guess I can use the term deregulated the private placement strategy, and now with this wrapper on it, it's available to everyone. You can start with $100 a month. You can start with, I know, and this is not to say that this is good, bad, right, or wrong, but I know people that have car payments that's $500, $600, $700, $800, $1200, $1,800 a month. Right? Imagine putting that kind of money away a month and how fast that could grow in that even when the bottom drops out and it's minus whatever it is, you're still growing. You're still on the green edge of growing at 0.75%. And you have guaranteed to be able to get 15%. So Kimberly said, laughing out loud, I'm so into this that I miss the blab that I am. So oh my goodness. I'm going to see what I can do to resurrect it. Thanks for this. Oh, blessings. Thank you, Kimberly. So, this is strategy. It's strategy. And if we don't, and I say this over and over and over and over and over again, you have to, in order to do better, you got to know better. So I'm here to help you know better. I'm here to help you know better. I'm here to help us take those funds that we spend in every place else and begin to put it in strategies where you cannot lose money, because you know the moment you drive that car off the lot, it's already depreciated X amount of percent, right? Already. And that whatever you pay for that 40, 50, 60,000, $100,000 car, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have it, I'm just using it as an example. Whatever you're paying for that is depreciating. You're absolutely losing. Absolutely losing. Where you could take that same amount of money, right? Not taking away the automobile, but if you could take that same amount of money for whatever it is, wherever you get in where you fit in, whatever that amount of money is, and you put it into a strategy like this, and you know that over the next 20, 30 years, you cannot lose money no matter what the market does, it's a no-brainer. And that's not even a term I really like to use, but because you have to consider it and contemplate it and know that this is good for you. Otherwise, you just stay stuck in the tax deferred programs, the 401s and the 403s that they're marketing to you. Why do you think that is? Who do you think is getting the benefit of using all those employee dollars? And then when you take it out, you get penalized 10%. And then if you don't take it out by the time you're 70 and a half, they penalize you 50%. Take half your value. So is this a better scenario? Is this a better way to look at going forward and building wealth? So I encourage you, if you have a wealth builder's mindset and you really want to make it fun and watch it grow and see all the things that you can do, right? And grow into that old money that when people drive through the neighborhood where your family live, they say, oh, this is old money, right? This is old money. But you have to do something today in the now to create that future for yourself. And it's my job to share with you, to bring to you the education that you need, because financial literacy is the main factor in financial success. You got to know. If you don't know, you just stay stuck in a 401, right? You just stay stuck where you are, and because that's what's popular. And if you're into doing what's popular, your family, you're not going to have the things that the 1% and 2% of the wealthy on the planet have. So those are the things that I'm here to share with you, how to protect your family, right? Because that's what it does. It protects your family. It creates an immediate estate from the time you actually open the strategy and stroke your signature on that. You create that immediate estate. So if you created a private placement for $500,000, $500,000, you immediately create that estate for your family. So as that's in force, your family's covered for that $500,000. And if you're the breadwinner, or something happens to you, or when we die, because we are going to make the transition, we're going to make our ascension, however it is that you relate to that. We're going to pass on from this experience to the next. We want to leave that for our family. So that's an inevitability. And so we plan for inevitabilities, right? We know that's going to happen. So you've got that income protection for your family, and you've grown your retirement in a structure, in a strategy that cannot lose money. How worry-free is that? How satisfying is that? That is the wealth building secret that you need to know. The 7702. Now, I got pages of stuff I can share with you. And I think that's enough for one blab. I encourage you to reach out to us. And Felicia's coming back in. Welcome, welcome. I encourage you to have a conversation with me. That's really what this is. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you. I want to share with you. I want to just spread the love around. And even though it's not entertaining, I'm not going to sing and dance and, take my clothes off and all that kind of stuff, that attracts people's attention. I'm just going to give it to you raw and real. And I'm going to do it in a space where not many people are having this conversation, and I'm going to do it in a way that I'm not charging you goo gobs of money to do it, because I want you to put your money in your program, right? So what? It would be ridiculous for me to charge you crazy amounts of money to come talk to me when we can do it on Blab, right? We could do it like this, and you can put your money in your program.
Hardball.
This is about no family left behind. This is about helping families rise, and I'm gonna get mine. Believe me, I believe that by doing good, good comes to me, and since I believe that, and I know that that is so, I just get the good that comes to me. And some of the good that has come to me today is that you have chosen to hang out with me on the Blab, to blab with me, to listen and to give us your comments and your energy. You know, all we have in life is the time that we're here. And you spent this time with us today, and I appreciate it. Hey, Felicia.
Hey. So Hardball.
Do you have something you want to add, my sister?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, Hardball
Yes.
said he would love to hear you sing, though.
Who would love to hear me sing?
Hardball over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
And Eric said,
I'm looking for a miracle. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'll sing next time. All right, I'll be prepared. I'll do my lemon water and I'll sing next time. All right.
So, guys, do you have
Wow.
any questions? Do you have any questions? Join the open seat.
Okay, so I said I wasn't going to take my clothes off, but I'm warm, so I'm going to just take my sweater off. Okay. So I'm just so grateful to be able to share my story, you know, coming from homelessness to not having any a clue, even though I grew up in a family with money. I didn't really know that it worked like this. And then I had built a $1 million company, and we had a financial advisor, but he did all the work. You know, I didn't know. We just said, okay, put this money over there. But now to know, oh my God. So promises. Oh, take my clothes off? Okay.
No, sing next time. It was sing next time he was talking about.
Oh, singing?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Welcome, Stephanie.
All right, singing. Okay.
Welcome, Stephanie. And Eric says,
hi, Stephanie.
Eric says, no questions, just soaking up the info.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So Stephanie's just joining us.
You know, if you think of hi. So if you think of any questions that you have for me, you know, my hashtag is Oneness Wellness, and I also use a hashtag Healthy Finances. You can visit me on my Facebook. I'm all over the social media. If you just track my Twitter, it'll get you to everywhere that you need to go, so we can continue this conversation. And I look forward to serving you. I mean, I got overflow, right? I mean, look at this. I got overflow. I can't even share all the stuff that I want to talk to you about today. I got 2 piles of stuff because I want to be able to give from my overflow. I've learned an incredible amount becoming a financial professional, being licensed. And I realized when I got in the game that it's closed mouth, closed lip. Nobody's trying to tell the community what's available to you. What's really available. So we went through the tax now, tax never, a tax now, tax deferred, or tax now, tax later, or tax never scenario. And I guided you through all of that. So what I want to do now that you're aware that some things actually do exist, and I just shared one strategy. Right? We've been on since 9:45, it's 11. I just shared one strategy that can change the trajectory of you and your family's life. And if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, the business can actually own it. Okay? And the premium, this is another secret. The business can actually own the 7702. Your trust can actually own the 7702. And the contribution that you put into the 7702 monthly is taxed, is not taxed, is a tax deduction, right? Because it's a business expense. So I'm just going to continue to share and pour out from what I know, so that the financial literacy becomes a reality in our everyday conversation, and that we can break this divide between the haves and the have-nots. And because it's not about how much money you have, it's about how much knowledge you have about how money works, the system and knowledge about the process, about how money works. We spend money every day, all the time, and only 8% of the schools in the nation, only 8% of the states in the nation require schools to give students a personal financial education. They teach you business, accounting, and all that kind of stuff, but most people struggle to balance their checkbook. So we're gonna take it there. We're gonna next level this conversation and bring it. All right. I'm here to do that. So I'm
Hardball
complete.
says.
So if there are any
Hardball
questions,
says he would love to discuss with you for business. And I have a business and get a 1099 for Missy.
Okay. Wonderful.
Oh, save your receipts, Missy. Yeah, missed off.
Save your receipts. Think of your receipts as money. And so here's a really cute way to do your receipts. If you don't want to have them pile up, when you get your receipt, take a picture of it and then send it to and create a receipt email account and send all your receipts to that email account. And you never have to have them pile up because you have the pictures of them and they'll all be in your receipt at Gmail account. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to have piles of receipts all around. Okay. So that works for me, right? So definitely say you need to have a record of your receipts. All right. And for your businesses, because your business can own the strategy, and it makes your contribution to the strategy a tax deduction, you can own more than one of them. You can two thoughts are coming to me at the same time regarding the business, because it's a whole nother wonderful side of this. So let me just get centered here in what I want to say to you. When you put your contribution in to your 7702 and your a tax deduction, right? Also, the other thought is that when you put your money into your 7702, if you're an entrepreneur, so for instance, I also have a line of natural skincare products. So when people buy those skincare products from me, they generally will pay cash. And I can take that cash and put it right into my account, and it never gets taxed, right? Not on my end. It's been taxed from the person that gave it to me. But on my end, if I put it right into my 70702, it never gets taxed, ever.
Props.
Ever.
Woohoo! Get a props, y'all.
Okay.
Get a props, y'all. Yes.
Okay. So you know that this is it's serious, but it's fun, because when you notice, I'm like, you know how much more confident you can be in your life when you know that your money is handled, that your future is handled, that your family is taken care of. When when you make your transition, your family is handled. The other thing that they wrapped it in. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. Okay, here's another juicy point. The other thing that they wrap this strategy in is a long-term care program. And I don't know why this didn't come up for me earlier, because this is from my heart space. I hospiced both of my parents, and they didn't have long-term care. And I spent my fortune taking care of my parents because I promised them that I would not put them in a nursing home. So I'm 59 years old. So my parents their concept of a nursing home was not these plush assisted living places that we have available to us now, right? So they were deathly afraid of going into a nursing home. And so I promised that I wouldn't do that to them. And when they got to the place where they needed my help. I put everything, my business, my cash flow was doing very well in New York City. And I put all that aside to go take care of them. And they didn't have any of what I'm talking about in place. And it cost me every dime I had. By the time I was done with that, and it was about a 10-year period of time, by the time I was complete and both my parents had made their transition and I felt like I had laid them to rest the best of my ability according to their wishes, I was penniless. Okay, hear me when I say I was penniless. So to be able to have a strategy that will provide not only a can't lose guarantee floor and a 15% cap, right? First rule of building wealth, don't lose money. I'm going to give you a can't lose money container and wrap it in income protection and wrap it in a retirement program, wrap it in an educational fund, wrap it in an emergency fund, right? And wrap it with a long-term care program. Please.
You
have no idea. Yes. Yes, because I'm about to cry.
Yeah, Miss Stowe is wanting to know about the 7702. She would love to hear about how you see your products, because I have products we manufacture at a wellness center that they sell. And she said her mom, speaking about what you just spoken to, her mom has nothing and it makes her worried. So, she want to know how you sell your products. Okay. And it makes her worried. So I put the link in for the survey and the mini course, and this replay will be available. But if you can just kind of recap and go over the 7702, just to give her a little bit of insight into that.
All right, we'll do. And thank you so much for the question and allowing me to share my heart. That probably didn't come out earlier because I wouldn't have been able to get through the whole the whole program. So the 7702, and I'm so glad you asked again. The 7702 is a private placement program that was established in 2005. That's how young that the availability to the public happened in 2005. The program itself, the private placement, is 100 years old. The company that I use to put these programs together is 100 and some crazy number like 186 years old. So this private placement has been around for a very long time, but unlike the 401k and the 403b, never heard of it. So it is a strategy that I deliberately don't call an investment, right? Because you can't lose money. And generally, when you think of an investment, you're thinking about the market, the mutual funds, the stock market, you trade your Forex trading, your commodities, all those kinds of things on the market. This is not that. However, and my hand is up for a reason. So this is the 7702, and this is the S&P 500. The 7702 is trading in what they call mirroring the trade in an index. So it's not in the market, but it's mirroring the S&P 500. The 7702 has a 0.75 floor, meaning that when the S&P 500 goes beneath 0.75 and it keeps falling, you would be losing money. In your 7702 program, you cannot lose money. Okay, the floor is 0.75. It grows within a growth corridor. This growth corridor caps at 15%. So you're going to grow what I call on the green edge of growing up to 15%. Now, why is that important? And I want to add some more in here because this is a repeat for some of you. So let me give you something I didn't say in the first explanation. You want to ask yourself, how many doubling periods do you have in your life? So what do I mean by that? You may or may not be familiar with the rule of 72. when I was introduced to it, getting licensed, I had already heard of it. So I think that people may have already heard of that. But the rule of 72 is an Albert Einstein formula. And this formula states that if you take the number 72 and divide it by your rate of return, it'll tell you how many times your money will double. Okay. So the question I asked was, how many doubling periods do you have in your life? Because you want to create long-term savings that you cannot lose, and you want to get doubling periods. So how many doubling periods? At 4%, your money doubles twice. So how many of you are getting 4%, right? So at 6%, your money doubles 3 times. At 8%, it doubles 4 times. At 12%, your money doubles 6 times. 8 times. At 15%, your money doubles 12 times. So you want to look at, I want to make sure I'm saying that right. At 12%, your money will double 8 times. Yes, because it's 8 times the amount of money that you can make. So at 12%, your money doubles 8 times. So the question is, how many doubling periods do you have in your life? So you want to make your money, right? This is wealth building secrets. You need to know this. It's the concept. Because if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to make it grow. This is how you make it grow. So in your 7702, you have it's a long-term strategy, and you're putting your money in like a premium payment, just like you would for insurance. So it gives you all of the benefits of insurance, but it's also growing your money in a guaranteed no loss container. Cannot lose your money. So basically, your 7702 is a private placement that's wrapped, that has what they call an insurance wrapper. And because of that, it's now available to the masses. Where prior to that, it was only available to high net worth individuals and who knew about it. So with the insurance wrapper, it grows like the market grows, but it's not in the market. Hi, it's not in the market. I am the market. Hi, I'm not in the market. Over here, you can lose money. Over here, you cannot lose money. All right. So your funds are growing. It creates an immediate estate for your family. If you choose a program that's 500,000 or 100,000 or $1 million, okay. When you actually create the strategy for yourself, that becomes what your family will receive when you make your transition. And since we all going to make our transition, it's inevitable, right? And you wonder why I keep saying that, because I run into people that say, well, I don't want to talk about dying. I say, but you're going to, it's like, we need to talk about how it is your family. If you're the breadwinner and you die, your family is going to have the grief of you not being here and the financial burden of not having your income. So why wouldn't you want to make sure your children still maintain the same lifestyle they had when you were providing for them? Why wouldn't you want to do that? So that's why we have this conversation. So your 7702 provides what we call income protection. And we recommend that the amount of the estate that you create be at least 10 times your annual salary as a minimum, at least 10 times your annual salary. So you have that, and it grows cash accumulation like a whole life, but you don't pay for it for your whole life. You only pay for it like a term for 20 years, but it never goes away. So it's the best of all that's available to us in terms of protecting ourselves and our family, of saving for our retirement, and it's all tax-free. You can put money in tax-free when you take your distribution. When you take money out, you can take it out tax-free. You can roll money into it. You can't roll a 401k because it has to go from qualified plan to qualified plan. We have other strategies for that, okay? But you can put money in it, as I said, tax-free. When you want to take money out, that money is tax-free. When it transfers as a legacy to your family, it transfers tax-free. So it's a never taxed strategy. as a business owner, if people pay you cash, you can take that cash and put it into your 7702 and it never, ever, 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 ever get taxed. All right. That's huge right by itself. Right by itself. Next to your ability to grow money and at a rate of return, remember I said I gave you 4, 6, 8, and 12% in terms of doubling periods. You can grow your money to 15%. So you have the opportunity for your money to be able to double 8 times, because it doubles 8 times at 12%. And the average, let me give you the average over the last 25 years of what the private placement has done and what the S&P has done is that it has grown, right? It has grown money at least at a minimum, at average over the last 25 years between 10 and 12%. Now, where can you go to a bank and get 10 or 12%? The bank is not your friend. Your bank is, they're not. The bank is the commercial face of the money. It's how they deal with the public. It's how they deal with the public. The people controlling the money are the people who control the market, right? The stock market, and the people who own the insurance companies. Everything in your life is insured. Your house is insured. Your company is insured. Your profession, you got to have errors and omissions insurance. You know, you got to have, everything's insured. Your car is insured. Your boat, everything's insured. Just look around. Everything you see is insured. So who got the money for real, for real? So this is a program that's created by the insurance companies. So that's how they can pay in that growth corridor. All right. So that's called a hedge. There's a hedge below you and a hedge. So, you know, in the Bible, we talk about, we ask the Lord to put a hedge around us. Hello. Right.
Oh my God.
You know, say because that's it's the mighty I am presence that gives us, you know, the I am that I am that gives us the power to get wealth. But what's good is you get the wealth and you don't know what to do with it. You know, you like the guy who had the talent and buried it in the ground.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And the one who got the reward was the one who knew the strategy. So I'm here to tell you the strategy. I'm here to show you the strategy. That's what it is. So I'm going to share more and go into in depth. I'm going to show you charts and graphs and all that kind of stuff. Not too much. If you're not a numbers person, I want to scare you away. But if you're a money person, I want to invite you. If you want to grow money, if you want to see how easy and how fun this is, because I'm having a ball, believe me, and how worry-free this is. I shared that the highest concern that people have is more people are afraid of outliving their money than they are of dying, because Social Security is going away, right? You all know that. You all know that. In the 50s and 60s, there were 45 workers putting money away for one person's retirement. The ratio was 45 to 1. Today, the ratio is less than 3 to 1. 3 people's money from the job going to take care of one person when it used to be 45 people. That's an unsustainable model. Believe me when I tell you, that's unsustainable. Unsustainable. So in the climate that we live in the financial climate that we live in, it's necessary that we have these types of programs that are not tied to the market because of the volatility, that you could be wealthy today and broke tomorrow playing around in the market. So if you're not a gambler, right? And I happen to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, right? And I don't gamble. However, so I'm sharing with you, if you're not a gambler, then your money should not be in the market. You shouldn't be playing all your money in the market. So let me tell you this. That the money that's growing in the growth corridor, right? So I've been told y'all all the stuff I'm going to save for you for the mini course, but I'm just kind of being led to share it with you. So you want to know, where is that money growing? Where is the insurance? Where does the insurance company have that money? And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because that's the questions that people ask me. Okay, there it is. Who manages it? Okay, who manages it, right? So the insurance company has the money growing, right, in the mirror. They're mirroring the Hang Seng, which is the Asian market, the euro, which is of course the European market, and the S&P 500. So all your eggs are not in one basket. So who manages it? I'm a licensed financial professional. Insurance companies are the top of the food chain in the financial world, and people don't realize that. They know who has the biggest building. Go to San Francisco, and the biggest building in the tallest building in the city is the Transamerica Pyramid. And I picked that one out because it's a pyramid. Come on, right? It's a in terms of the power and energy that structure is, that sacred geometry is what I'm speaking of, that, right? So they know something. So who is managing it is they got money managers, and it's huge amounts of money. Huge amounts of money. And how can they guarantee it? Because they're making everything above the 15%, right? They're going to guarantee you, because realize that the key here is to do it tax-free. The key here is to do it risk-free, right? Where you cannot lose money. So their whole premise is, we're going to give you this strategy, and when you pay your premium, we're going to protect you. That's what insurance companies do, right? They protect you against loss. They protect you against loss. So you cannot lose your money. A 0.75 floor when the market is down 1,000 means a whole lot. Believe me, there's a lot of people who jumped out of windows that wish they had a 0.75 floor and a 15% cap. They would have taken that any day over losing it all. In 2000 and in 2008, when the markets crashed and people did not have these kinds of strategies, they had no idea what to do. And people don't know, the unfortunate thing is that people are not aware that there are programs like this that are tax-free and risk-free, where you can't lose money, where you can earn or grow a rate of return of upwards of 15% and never, ever, with a guarantee, can't lose money. Can't lose money. So that's in a nutshell, the 772
recap
wrapped up again, right? So hello, MLM Success 71. How are you? Welcome, Dana. So I can share much more. And then if you decide that this is one of the programs that you want, and also I teach, train, and develop, right? I know I always got more, and there's more. I develop, coach, and train financial professionals because I'm looking for people to join my tribe so we can go help families rise. So if that's something that you're interested in, I can put you on to that too. So you can do what I do. You can know what I know from the inside, as an insider. All right. If you just want the strategy, we can definitely help you with that. But if you think that this is something that you want to know, and I chose this as an encore career, right? Remember, I said I've been in natural healing and health and Wusa for 44 years, right? And then the creator showed me, the mighty I am present showed me that what's needed in the world today is financial literacy. That's what's needed. So, hey, I'm a willing servant. I said, okay, choose me. I'll go. And so brings me here today on the blab, right? It's like my day 4 as a official blabber. And I'm learning to look in the camera, not at the picture. So, and it's funny because I've done radio and television. I'm used to having to look in the camera, right? And for some reason, that little green dot up there doesn't get my attention. I'm trying to talk to you. I want to talk to you, but talking to you is looking in the camera. So, and I'm a little crazy.
Right. That's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like looking at the camera. So, thank you so much. Join my mini course. I look forward to sharing much more with you. I think if you did, my blog has information there. Thank you, Felicia Power Oneness, for posting that. Power of Oneness is the subsidiary of the Oneness Wellness Foundation. Felicia is president of the Oneness Wellness Foundation. I am the founder and visionary of the Oneness Wellness Foundation. We also have a line of all natural skincare, and I'm not going to go blabbing about that because that's outside of the the context of what we came here to talk about today. So I have already shared with you Wealth Made Easy, because you can get in where you fit in and grow millions of dollars, right? You want to grow millions of dollars. We want to try to get out there and try to make millions of dollars. You can do that too, but you can grow it. And then you have lifestyle instead of on a grind every day, and the grind sometimes is our passion. I'm here, growing millions, but I'm here. You can do it too. So it really is easy. It's just about what you know. It's really about what you know. It's holistic because it takes care of everything that because it's in that wrapper, and you can't lose money. So it takes all the worry away. All the worry goes away. And I've shared with you several, not just one. I only came to share one, but I shared with you several wealth building secrets, old money revealed, how they do it. I talked about how they, what they do when the child is 15 days old. 15 days old. Talk about having a plan. If you don't have a financial plan, you're just wandering around in the wilderness. Okay, you gotta have one. You gotta have one. So I also offer a complimentary if you don't have one or you don't think it's extensive enough. And in most cases, I find it's not. I sit down with a lot of people with money and with no money and help people get on the right track, and they don't have the plan that they need. And in that plan, it has to be your vision, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. What do you want in life? It's not just about, I want to leave this amount of money for the legacy. You're going to handle that. That's a byproduct of making sure that your dream goals and desires become a reality in your life. And we got to plan that out. And the financial needs analysis, the complementary financial needs analysis is available to you. I'd love to be able to serve you with that. So you have anything else, Felicia?
No, I was really just sitting in and supporting. I know you wouldn't be able to do the multitasking piece. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't do that well. I gotta be focused, right? I gotta watch the dollars, right?
Yeah. So thank you, Eric. Eric says this is good stuff.
Wow.
So yes.
Thank you.
So we're looking to definitely help us shift and transform the mindset and be able to release some of the limiting beliefs that we have around this subject, so that we can begin to attract and co-create and know what we are focusing on and what we are drawing to us and what we are growing and how to do that without all the other stuff that used to come attached to it. So we don't have to serve and operate in that from that place anymore.
Yes.
So
we're making money a holistic spiritual conversation.
Yes.
And we're gonna show you how to do it. So we're doing it in the world, but not of it, right? Yes. And on that note, I don't know whether you know it or not, but because we come with so many limiting beliefs that challenge the new mindset, Felicia partners with me. We partner together. We're in this together, right? We're rising together in helping to debug your subconscious mind so that you can get rid of those limiting beliefs around money and create what you desire in your life, manifest what you desire in your life. And so we do it together, because when you start manifesting it, you got to know what to do with it, right? So you manifest it and you got to know what to do with it. Because we always share that Felicia and I together, we've had times where in a weekend, we've made upwards of $25,000, $50,000, $80,000 in 2 days, right? But we didn't know what to do with it, right? We didn't know how to really grow it like we know now. Okay, so it's one of those things. If I knew then what I know now, but I can only live in the now. So I can only live in the now and do what I can for the future. So I'm so thankful and so grateful that you all joined us on today. Again, the link for the mini course is in the chat. This blab has been recorded, so if you came in at any time period where you feel like you didn't get everything, you will be able to replay it and share it and ask questions in the future. So I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. So thank you. I emailed me the link. Email me the link. Okay. So, all right, there it all is. Thank you, Felicia, for handling the multitasking part for me. Right.
She couldn't sign up from her phone. She said she couldn't sign up from her phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, in the survey. All right. So
no, and I guess in the survey. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because that's the link we set out. Yeah. Okay. Well, that link it takes you to your site, your website. Yeah, it takes you to the website. Okay. That page, reserve your spot today, register today, webinar. Yep.
Okay. So there are a couple things going on. There's a webinar that I do where you don't really see me, you see the charts and the graphs. I actually share the hard copy stuff. All right, because some people we learn differently. So I share that for my people who need to see the visual of it. And then we have the mini course that's coming up. All right, and so the mini course that's coming up, you have to fill out the survey in order to get into the mini course.
Mini course, yes. Right? Yeah. And the when you look at the page, it'll say survey here, and that's where you take the survey for the mini course. Yes.
And there's also an opt-in. So I may not have it. It may not be tracking like it really needs to. So. Can you guys still see me? Can you see me, Felicia?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, because I switched screens and I didn't know whether you could still see me or not. All right, so because I want to pull it up so I can make sure that while people are still here with us, I can give them what they really need to participate.
So, do you want to give them the mini course that's on your first page?
I want to give them the
7-figure presentation. Okay. All right, I'll let you do what you do.
Okay. Actually, I want to give them the opt-in page. And I thought
directly itself. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for, and I didn't see it because I know that's how I signed up.
Okay, yeah, I want to give them the opt-in page. So give me one moment here. And I'm sorry if you hear the clicking on the computer. So Felicia, talk to them about the debugging the subconscious mind as it relates to wealth building. And let me grab this for a moment, okay?
Okay. So I am Felicia Muhammad, your spiritual life and business transformation facilitator, certified awakening dynamics practitioner, healer, and as she stated earlier, president of Oneness Wellness Foundation and cast member of the new documentary that is in a city near you in premiere mode called Head Ladies in Charge. And so you can join, if you can follow me, you'll see some of the replays where we did yesterday. We conducted sessions on Blab showing you how to manifest and release some of the limiting beliefs that we have around money. And in any area, really, any stuck point in our love life, financial life, health, dealing with relationships. And so what I do is I help you to be able to know how to access the subconscious mind, because we know the subconscious mind controls 95% of everything that we do and what we create and who we be, okay, and the experiences that we have. So I show you how to be able to access the subconscious mind to communicate and ask questions of what resonates as truth with the subconscious mind versus what we believe consciously, because the conscious mind only really contributes 5% of what we see. Okay, so the power is in our subconscious mind, which the subconscious mind is in every cell of our being, because we don't have to think about our heart to beat. We don't have to think about the organs to function properly. Okay, so we took some people on the Blab yesterday. It was a really, really good experience, and you got a chance to see the transformation and get a chance to see what you will experience should you choose to opt in for a complimentary session to be able to get rid of some of that baggage that is weighing you down. Okay. Yeah, Eric was there. It was powerful. I would like to get your feedback,
Wow.
Eric.
Yes.
And he scheduled an appointment for Monday. So I'm looking forward to servicing you on Monday. So
Excellent.
yeah, Eric says, I was there. It was powerful. Okay, great.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so any area in your life that you want to get rid of the baggage that's weighing you down, I show you and I help you to be able to activate your body's ability to be able to have this communication, so that when you make your next decision and you want to know, consciously how you think about it. But again, I'll say, and again, the powers with the subconscious mind and knowing how it resonates with the subconscious mind. If it resonates as truth, if it means it's strong, you should, yes, do that. It's the belief that you should do that. Or if it's no, and it makes you weak, then, you don't want to necessarily do that. All right. So we show you how to be able to access the subconscious mind, to ask those questions and get answers, and then help you to shift those beliefs. Okay. So that now it is in alignment with your highest good, your subconscious mind. And now you set up a wonderful environment and a guaranteed environment where you begin to attract the people, places, things, circumstances to fulfill and manifest that new belief that you now have. Okay, because again, it's all in accordance with what's in your highest good and for the highest good of all involved. So yeah, it was powerful. Yes. So that's a part of what we do. And Shifat had some wonderful transformations and testimonies yesterday.
Absolutely,
in just a matter of time, with being able to do what she's doing even now on a greater level and with more authenticity.
That's why I'm blabbing now. That's why I'm blabbing now.
Now she can really talk to anybody
about it. Because I was having an issue being able to transition from my being a natural healing practitioner to talking about money. It's like, because it felt like a disconnect. Even though we have the healthy finances, and I know that I'm called to do this part now, right? Because I pioneered for 44 years. I pioneered what we now know was one of the pioneers of what we now know of as this wellness revolution, right? So Felicia and I, for the last 15 years, have been together doing that. So when it shifted to healthy finances, I had to find the right conversation. I had to make sure that, well, let me say it like this. I was not able to bridge the gap in the conversation in my mind and feel like it, and being authentic with it. So getting new clients and being an entrepreneur was challenging. I wasn't talking to people. So you don't talk to people. You don't, the closed mouth don't get fed. So, so having the session with Felicia helped me get past, remove the blocks to my ability to be really clear and authentic and unapologetic about bringing a money conversation into a wellness space, okay? And doing it from the power of my heart center, because that's always where I operate. But that wasn't fitting in there. So we went into my heart and put it there, and I got after a sleep cycle, I got 5 new appointments. 3 of them have now turned, 5 new contacts, right? I made 5 calls, and I was like not trying to be on the phone. I was having a hard time making my calls. I made 5 calls, got 3 appointments out of those 5 calls, and just moving forward now. And it's just all feeling real good. We did some past life regression, and to get rid of the money
Fear.
blocks.
Yeah.
The fear, right? Because fear in any form will block you in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Fear in any form will block you in anything you're trying to do. It will rear its ugly head. So Felicia, it's necessary for Felicia and I to be together, because in order for you to create for yourself this this wealth building mindset, you got to get past the conversation about wealth, that money don't grow on trees. You know, you got to get past the conversation of I can't afford that, or that's too expensive, or you know, or you're not enoughness, your scarcity mentality. You can't even see a 7702 if your mind is, even though I present it to you, you can't really embrace the goodness that it is. You can't embody that for yourself without getting your subconscious to agree with you. To agree with what you say you want to do, right? And so Felicia helps us to do that, and has been very powerful for me. So thank you very much. And I did put the link in. It's the healthyfinances.sevenfiguresuccess.com. Okay, and so the link is there, healthyfinances.sevenfiguresuccess.com /CP/8. It's there. And so that will take you to the opt-in for the mini course. And then that will take you to where the survey is. Okay. So thank you. Yay.
Thank you guys for being on.
Okay.
We honor you. We honor you. Give thanks. Yes.
All
right.
So I'll be back again. I don't have the next one scheduled, but I'll be back soon.
And join me next week.
Thank you, Felicia.
Yes, and if I can do a shameless plug, join me next week for part 2 of Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. We're going to be going in and doing some more clearing, so you can watch part 1 and kind of see what we did, and at least get familiar with knowing how to zip up your field. And because the energy is still present in the replay, okay? So when you go through the replay, you will still receive benefits from the clearings that we did in the replay. All right, and that's what I love about this technology. So make sure you look at the replay, get calibrated, make sure you hydrate with water, okay? And join us for part 2 of Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. And also, I am going to be scheduling. I'm working out because I'm traveling and I'm supposed to be back in St. Croix this weekend. And I'm putting together the schedule that we're going to be doing moving forward with the Unleash Your Inner Millionaire and manifestation affirmations. Okay. So, hey, let's do this. And I'm excited. Let's do this. So thank you all so much. Yeah, let me work.
Right.
And let me nay. I don't even know how to do it. I was like, I'm a dancer and I don't know how to do that.
I know. I learned how to do it on a cruise. We went on a cruise island cruise about a month ago, and I learned how to, and I used to watch my grandson all the time. He'd be all this and this, and I'm like, what in the world? So I learned how to do it.
Yay!
Okay. All right.
Cool.
I know y'all know. I know y'all know what I be talking about. So, because it's going down for real, right?
For real, it's going up.
Down.
No, it's going up.
It's going up. Okay. It's going up for real.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody have a great day. Bye now.
Bye. Okay, stop recording.
Okay. Thank you.
Aloha, Eric. Yeah, I'm coming to Hawaii. I've been trying to get to Hawaii for years.